In the world of intellectual property, your expertise is everything. It's the gold standard. But what happens if that expertise is, well, invisible to the people who need you the most? Today, we're diving into how IP professionals can build a really powerful digital presence that turns all that hidden knowledge into real, tangible opportunities. It's a question you really have to ask yourself. You could be the absolute best in your field, but if potential clients can't find you, if they don't get what makes you special, or if they just can't trust your insights online, then your expertise isn't living up to its potential. It's like having this brilliant solution locked away in a vault that nobody knows how to open.
You know, the old reality was pretty straightforward. Just do great work, and the work will speak for itself. But things have changed. Today, having a consistent, credible digital presence is a massive strategic asset. It's what builds trust and opens doors for you, long before you even walk into a meeting.
And that brings us to what we can call the invisible expert problem. It's this gap, right? The gap between having really deep knowledge and actually being recognized for it. In the digital world we live in, expertise by itself just doesn't guarantee that clients are going to find you, understand what you do, and ultimately trust you with their business.
Now, I get it. For a lot of serious professionals, that term personal branding can feel a little uncomfortable, maybe even a bit cringy. But it's time for a major mindset shift here. This is not about vanity. It's about making your expertise visible. It's about being clear, not just being loud. Brand advisor Julia Donato just nails the definition here. She calls it the disciplined, strategic visibility of your expertise. See how that reframes the whole thing? Suddenly it's not just about self-promotion, it's about control, intention, and, professionalism.
So let's just tackle that first big objection head on, because it's a common one. This idea that putting yourself out there is somehow tacky or just feeding your ego. But that's a huge misunderstanding of what its strategic purpose really is.
So is it just self-promotion? The answer is a hard no. It's actually about creating signals of quality. Think about it. When you consistently share your insights, you're not just promoting yourself, you're helping potential clients make better decisions. You're making it easier for them to find and trust the right expert for the job.
Okay, here's another critical one, especially in the IP and legal fields. What about client confidentiality? How in the world can you be visible without breaking that sacred trust? It's a totally valid and incredibly important question. The solution really lies in what you're sharing. Instead of talking about specific cases, you share anonymized insights. You talk about the broader patterns you're seeing in the industry. You focus on the what and the how of your work, not the who of your client list. This lets you build authority while keeping confidentiality locked down. And then, of course, we have the universal barrier, time. Between all the casework, client management, and everything else on your plate, who has the bandwidth to build a digital presence? It can feel like you're being asked to take on a whole second job. But what if the time it actually takes is way less than you think? Turns out, it might only take about 30 to 60 minutes a week. That's it. See, the key isn't about volume, it's all about consistency. One really thoughtful, high-quality contribution each week is so much more powerful than just random bursts of activity every few months. Okay, so we've talked through the mindset and knocked down some of the biggest objections. Now let's get practical. Let's get into the playbook. How do you actually get started with this? It's not about just posting randomly and hoping for the best. It's about following a clear, structured path.
Julia Donato gives us this simple but really powerful 4-step process. First, you've got to define your positioning. What are you the go-to person for? Second, craft your professional story. Third, you deliberately select your platforms. LinkedIn is a fantastic place to start. And finally, number 4, you focus on constancy, not intensity.
And to put that idea of constancy into practice right away, here's a super actionable checklist for your first month. All you have to do is identify your top 3 areas of expertise, publish just 1 high-quality piece of content, and have 5 purposeful conversations. That's it. It's manageable, it's focused, and it gets the ball rolling.
So, what should that one piece of content be? Well, practitioner Maria Boyakova-Winans suggests using a kind of portfolio approach. It could be some quick insights on LinkedIn, maybe a longer article, or even participating in a webinar. The real key here is that all these things should be coordinated around a single coherent theme to get the biggest impact.
All right, now let's level up. Let's see how this goes from just individual posts to something way more powerful. Because sporadic effort, it just gets lost in all the noise online. The real goal is to build a system where your visibility starts to compound over time. Dr. Tobias Dank offers a fantastic framework for this. Think about your content as serving 4 different functions. You've got your news channels for what's happening right now. You've got deep dive channels for thoughtful analysis. Then there are learning channels with practical guides. And finally, community channels to really spark a dialogue. When you orchestrate these 4 areas, you turn random posts into a cohesive strategy.
And this is where things get really strategic. Effective visibility isn't just about commenting on today's news cycle. It's about positioning yourself to shape the conversations of tomorrow. It's about becoming the go-to resource for what's coming next in the world of IP.
This idea of an open foresight board illustrates it perfectly. It's really just a way to connect your personal brand to the strategic future of the entire industry. By jumping into these forward-looking discussions, your visibility becomes a kind of stewardship for the whole IP community. You're not just building a brand, you're helping build the future of your field.
So what does this all boil down to? When you pull it all together, there are really 3 fundamental principles for turning your expertise into visible authority. First, think of visibility as a quality practice. Clear, consistent communication isn't just noise, it's actually a service. It helps your clients and partners find the right person for the job, which reduces their risk and builds trust right from the very first click.
Second, systems will always beat sporadic effort. A few isolated posts here and there are easily forgotten. But an orchestrated set of channels, your news, your analysis, your learning guides, and your community discussions, that creates a self-reinforcing cycle that builds lasting recognition and authority.
And third, foresight is what anchors your relevance. By connecting what you're talking about today with the emerging topics of tomorrow, you make sure you stay essential. It transforms your visibility from simple communication into strategic sense-making for your entire industry.
So let's end with one big question. You apply incredible discipline to managing your client's intellectual property. The real question is, are you applying that same systematic care to your own most valuable asset, your professional reputation?